So at some point we were all beginner climbers. As a beginner, you go through a lot of developmental phases during your climbing process. When I first started climbing, I went through so many learning phases that I felt really discouraged, and it was really hard to find some motivation to get climbing. So the goal of this video is to speed up the learning process and help you avoid the beginner mistakes. Alright, so the first mistake is avoiding climbs that you're not generally good at. So in most cases, people avoid climbing certain routes because there's a move or a certain style of climbing that they're generally not too good at. At least in my opinion, working on your weaknesses as a climber will dramatically increase your bottom line and your foundation of climbing. And it's sure to help you reach way higher grades. Not only that, but in my opinion, it's the #1 way to break past any plateau, at least up to like V8. And it kind of goes with anything in life. The only way to get better at something is to just keep hammering it. So #2 was a really big thing for me, and it dramatically increased my climbing capabilities. And that is to climb with people that are better than you. Climbing with people that were better than me helped me point out small, subtle mistakes that I was making that I didn't even realize I was making. I picked up a lot of tips and a lot of tricks for climbing that I just would never have learned on my own. One big thing that I picked up that I never would have on my own is hip placement. I knew nothing about hip placement, and I didn't know how much it affects your climbing. But yeah, overall, if you have the opportunity, climb with somebody, or at least get somebody to watch you climb that has been climbing for a lot longer than you, because 9 times out of 10, you're gonna learn something when you talk to them. And overall, most people in the climbing community are very nice, so you can generally walk up to just about anybody and at least somebody's gonna want to help. So #3 is recording your climbs. It's something that is generally frowned upon if you have a camera just in the middle of a gym. I don't advise doing that, but if you can have a subtle setup with like your phone or a camera or something, I would highly recommend doing that and recording your climbs. Now the reason I say that is because it's really hard to look back on your climbing as you're in the middle of climbing, if that makes sense, and seeing where you went wrong and whatnot. So the best way is to just record yourself and see what obvious or not obvious mistakes you made. Now the only reason I can have this set up here in the middle of the gym is because there's nobody here right now. It's a 24-hour gym, so I gotta find the right time to have a setup like this. So for #4, it's reading beta. When I first started climbing, I had a bunch of people telling me to read beta. That's the #1 thing, but I didn't really listen to it, and I had to pay for that for probably a good 5-6 months or so. For me, the process of reading beta is essentially coming up with a plan on the ground of what you're gonna do before you climb. And it's crazy to think that I just totally ignored that, mainly because I couldn't visualize myself on the wall climbing. But yeah, if there's anything that you can take from that, is to just try to picture yourself on the wall as much as you can, and if you can't, I'd even try to get somebody to help you. Like I said in the last tip, most people are willing to help you if you're a new climber, so I would really take advantage of that. And for the last tip is just to have fun. Climbing is becoming a lot more competitive, and as a beginner, my highest recommendation is to just have fun, learn all the moves that you can, try every single route, because you're gonna end up liking something. When it comes down to it, bouldering or sport climbing is an extremely fun sport, and the quickest way to ruin that for yourself is by not having fun. But yeah, honestly, just have fun, try every single route that you can, and don't worry about becoming a better climber, because that just comes with experience, that comes with time being on the wall, and having fun should just genuinely be your #1 priority unless you're trying to go to the Olympics. But yeah, anyway, I'm gonna go climb now, so I'll see you later. Goodbye.